You ever feel like life is just beating you down, one challenge after another? It's like every time you try to get ahead, something comes along to throw you back into the fire. The weight of it all can feel crushing, right? But here's the truth you don't hear enough. Those moments, the pain, the struggle, the setbacks, are actually the moments that shape us into who we're meant to become. They aren't just random misfortunes, they're lessons in disguise. It's exactly when you feel like giving up that you're closest to your breakthrough. This is where Stoicism steps in, offering timeless wisdom for navigating life's toughest challenges. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow stronger, to rise higher, and to embrace the very hardships that seem impossible to overcome. Before we get started, if you're ready to grow, to face challenges head-on, and embrace life's hardships as opportunities for transformation, then please subscribe. By subscribing, you're committing to a path of self-discovery and personal growth, because that's what this journey is all about. Let's dive in. Lesson 1. Silence teaches. What noise never could. Life is loud, isn't it? We're constantly surrounded by noise, whether it's the endless stream of social media, the barrage of notifications, or the unsolicited opinions of others. It can feel like there's no room for peace, no time for stillness. But here's the thing. When life knocks you down, when you're facing your lowest point, that's when the noise begins to fade. And in that silence, something incredibly powerful happens. Suddenly, the world around you quiets, and you're left with yourself. In these moments, you're forced to confront the raw truths you've been avoiding, the fears, the doubts, the insecurities you've buried under distractions and busyness. This is when you start to hear your own voice. And while it can be terrifying, it's in that space of silence that you begin to rebuild yourself, bit by bit. The truth is, silence has the ability to teach us things that constant noise can never touch. It's in those quiet moments that we face the truths about ourselves that we've ignored for too long. Think about it. How often do you run from the quiet, filling every second with noise because you're afraid of what you'll find when you stop? It's like Seneca said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Our fears, our anxieties, they're often just stories we tell ourselves when we're too distracted to face what's really going on. In the silence, you stop running from your own mind. You have to face it head-on, and though it can feel overwhelming at first, that's when the real transformation starts. It's not about drowning out the silence with music or social media. It's about sitting with it, embracing it, and allowing it to show you what's been hidden beneath the noise all along. Embrace those moments of stillness, especially when life feels like it's too much to handle. Don't rush to fill the silence with distractions. Let it teach you. You might be surprised by what you learn when you finally stop running and let the quiet reveal the truths you've been avoiding. It's in that silence where your growth begins. When life hits hardest, when you feel like you can't keep going, remember that the struggle isn't meant to break you. Instead, it's shaping you. Pain is a part of that. It's uncomfortable, it's overwhelming, and yes, it hurts. But if you're willing to face it head-on, pain can be one of your greatest teachers. Epictetus put it simply, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Life will throw things at you, no doubt. You'll face challenges, obstacles, and moments of suffering. But the way you respond, your ability to face that pain, not as a victim, but as someone who is capable of rising from it, that's where your true power lies. Too often we shy away from pain, trying to numb it or avoid it at all costs. But when you do that, you miss the lesson. You miss the opportunity for growth. Pain isn't something to fear. It's something to learn from. Think about the hardest things you've ever been through, the moments that felt unbearable, like you were being crushed under the weight of it all. Now, reflect on the person you became because of those moments. Did they make you weaker, or did they forge a stronger, more resilient version of yourself? We often look at our struggles as something to escape, something to avoid. But what if we started seeing them as opportunities to become the person we've always wanted to be? Every painful experience, every moment of suffering, carries with it the potential for growth. When you lean into pain and use it as a tool for change, it stops being a burden and becomes an instrument of transformation. The truth is, when you're facing pain, you're not being punished. You're being prepared. It's the universe's way of helping you shed old skin to break free from the things that no longer serve you. This isn't just about surviving the pain. It's about using it as a guide to become someone greater, someone stronger, someone who can handle what life throws their way. There's something powerful about hitting rock bottom. It feels like everything is falling apart, like there's no way out. But here's the thing. Sometimes everything has to fall apart before it can come together. The Stoics taught that destruction is often the prerequisite for creation. When you're at your lowest, when everything seems to be collapsing, it's easy to think that it's the end. But in reality, it's just the beginning. The old version of you is falling away so that something better can rise in its place. It's a messy process. It's uncomfortable, but it's also the most important part of the journey. Think about nature. Trees shed their leaves in the winter, not because they're dying, but because they're preparing for new growth. Caterpillars dissolve completely inside their cocoons, breaking down into liquid before they emerge as butterflies. It looks like destruction, but it's actually a necessary part of transformation. Life works the same way. Sometimes things need to break before they can be rebuilt into something better, something stronger. The breakdown is part of the process. The falling apart is part of the falling into place. It may feel like everything is falling apart around you, but trust that it's all happening for a reason. What seems like destruction is just the clearing away of what no longer serves you, making space for the new to enter. When you're in the middle of the chaos, when it feels like everything is slipping through your fingers, it's easy to think that you're losing. But in reality, you're just creating space for something even better. The hardest moments in life are the ones that shape us the most. They strip us down to our core, forcing us to face what truly matters. And when the dust settles, we find ourselves standing taller, stronger, and more aligned with our true purpose. Strength doesn't always look the way we think it should. We often associate strength with loud victories, dramatic comebacks, and bold declarations. But in reality, true strength is quiet. It's the strength that allows you to keep going when nobody's watching, to persevere even when you feel like giving up. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Real strength isn't about flexing in the mirror or showing off. It's about showing up day after day, even when it's hard, even when it feels like no one sees the effort. It's about having the courage to keep moving forward when the road is tough, when the world is telling you to stop. Think about the times in your life when you've had to dig deep, when you've faced challenges that nobody else knew about, when you kept fighting even though it felt like the fight was already lost. That's the strength that matters. It's not the loud, attention-grabbing kind of strength. It's the quiet, persistent strength that carries you through the hard times. It's the strength that doesn't need applause, doesn't need recognition, because it's rooted in something deeper. When you're truly strong, you don't need to prove it to anyone. You just keep going, quietly and steadily, knowing that every step you take brings you closer to the person you're meant to become. True strength isn't about avoiding pain, it's about enduring it. It's about walking through the storm and coming out on the other side, still standing, still strong. And in the process, You learn that strength isn't something you have, it's something you become. The person you're becoming isn't just a stronger version of you, it's a version that's more aligned with your true self. Think about the person you were before the struggles, the pain, the failures. Now think about who you're becoming. The challenges, the setbacks, they're not destroying you, they're shaping you. They're sculpting you into someone who can handle what's coming next. Every painful experience, every moment of suffering is guiding you towards something greater. It's helping you shed the parts of yourself that no longer serve you and revealing the parts that have always been waiting to emerge. The hardest challenges, the ones that break you down, are the very ones that build you up. When you face pain with courage, when you embrace the struggle instead of running from it, you begin to unlock the person you were always meant to be. The person you're becoming is not only capable of handling what comes next, but is also capable of thriving because of it. There's a beauty in the struggle. It teaches you what's truly important, what you can live without, and what you can't live without. It helps you discover your inner strength, your resilience, and your capacity for growth. And while the journey may be difficult, it's worth it. The person you're becoming is worth every painful moment, every tear, every setback. So the next time you face a challenge, don't run from it. Embrace it. Let it shape you into the person you're meant to become. You'll be amazed at what you're capable of when you stop fearing the struggle and start seeing it as the path to your greatest self. Lesson 2. Pain becomes the map, not the trap. Pain is a part of life. We've all felt it, whether it's heartbreak, failure, or simply the overwhelming weight of everything going wrong at once. It's uncomfortable, and it's easy to wish it away, to pretend it doesn't exist. But what if I told you that pain, instead of being something to avoid, is actually something you should embrace? Carl Jung once said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." Pain doesn't just hurt, it guides us, helping us uncover the deeper truths about ourselves and our lives. It's not a punishment, it's a map, pointing us to the areas that need change, growth and healing. Think about it. When you touch something hot, what happens? Pain signals you to pull your hand away. It's the same with emotional pain. When you experience hurt, it's not just there to make you suffer. It's there to signal something is wrong, something is out of balance, something needs to shift. It's easy to ignore pain or mask it with distractions, but doing so is like leaving your hand on that hot stove just because you're too afraid to face the discomfort of pulling away. Pain isn't the enemy, it's the messenger. It's trying to protect you from making the same mistakes, from staying in the same toxic patterns, from ignoring what needs to change in order for you to move forward. Pain teaches us where to grow. It's a guide to transformation. Every difficult experience, every heartbreak, every failure offers us an opportunity to learn, to reflect, and to evolve. When you're in the middle of a painful moment, it can feel like there's no way out, like you'll never feel better, like the hurt will never go away. But instead of running from it or trying to numb it with distractions, what if you chose to face it head on? What if, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you asked, "What is this trying to teach me?" When you ask that question, pain becomes less of a burden and more of an invitation, a call to grow, to change, to evolve into the person you were meant to be. The truth is, pain is often the catalyst for the greatest personal growth. Think about the times in your life when you've been forced to face pain head-on. Maybe it was the end of a relationship, a job loss, a failure that left you feeling broken. It hurt, didn't it? But now, looking back, don't you see how much you learned from those experiences? How they shaped you into who you are today? Pain pushes us out of our comfort zones, forces us to confront our weaknesses, and ultimately helps us grow stronger. Without pain, we'd never learn to change. We'd never be challenged to step outside of our comfort zones, to evolve beyond who we were yesterday. It's the struggle that defines us, that makes us resilient, and that prepares us for what's to come. So, the next time pain knocks at your door, don't shy away from it. Don't ignore it. Instead, welcome it, even if it's uncomfortable. Sit with it, reflect on it, and ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn from this? Embrace the pain as a necessary part of your journey. Let it lead you to the places inside yourself that need healing. Because here's the thing, you can't truly move forward in life without embracing pain. It's not the pain itself that defines you, but how you respond to it. Will you let it break you, or will you let it build you? The choice is yours, and in that choice lies the power to transform your life. Pain doesn't have to be your enemy. It's a guide, a tool for growth, and a necessary step on the path to becoming who you're meant to be. Next time you're in the midst of pain, instead of running from it, look at it with curiosity. Ask it what it has to teach you. It might just reveal something that you never knew you needed to learn, and in that moment, you'll realize that pain, rather than holding you back, is actually the very thing pushing you forward. Lesson 3. Falling apart is actually falling into place. Life has a funny way of throwing curveballs at us. One moment, everything feels aligned, and then out of nowhere, it all falls apart. The breakup you didn't see coming, the job loss that hits you like a ton of bricks, the dream that crumbles in front of your eyes. In those moments, it's hard not to think it's the end. It feels like the universe has just ripped away everything you thought was solid. But here's the truth. The breakdown is often the beginning of something better. I know it sounds like a cliché. Everything happens for a reason, right? But what if there's more to it than just empty words? What if in those moments of collapse, the universe isn't punishing you, it's preparing you? Think about it. When you shed something, whether it's a relationship, a job, or even a belief that no longer serves you, it creates space for something new, something better. Heraclitus once said, "The only constant in life is change." Change isn't always comfortable. It's messy, chaotic, and often feels like you're falling apart. But change is the only thing that allows us to grow. Without it, we'd stay stuck, stagnant in the same place. But when life forces you to change, it's often because the version of yourself that existed in the old space just wasn't enough to take you where you're meant to go. It's like a tree shedding its leaves in winter, not because it's dying, but because it's getting ready for the new season, the new growth that comes with spring. The collapse might feel like a destruction, but in reality, it's a reshaping. Think about your own life. The toughest moments you've faced, the ones that knocked you down, the ones that made you question everything, didn't destroy you. They were breaking down the old version of you so that a stronger, wiser version could rise. When everything falls apart, it's a sign that the universe is making room for something new to enter your life. It's making space for opportunities, for growth, for experiences that wouldn't have been possible if you were still holding on to the past. We cling to what we know, to what feels comfortable, even when it no longer serves us. It's natural to want to keep things the way they are. But sometimes, life forces us to let go, to shed, to make way for the better things that are waiting just around the corner. Now, I know it's hard to see that in the middle of the storm. When everything is falling apart, it feels like the world is collapsing on top of you. It's easy to think that the universe is working against you, that you're being punished, that you'll never get out of the hole you're in. But the truth is, you're not falling apart. You're actually falling into place. The universe is aligning things for you, even when it feels like chaos. And trust me, I know it's difficult to trust the process when you're in the thick of it. But if you can step back for a moment and see the bigger picture, you'll realize that every painful experience, every setback, is guiding you to where you're meant to be. It's all part of the process. It might be messy, it might feel like a disaster, but if you trust the process, you'll see that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Think back to the times in your life when you felt like you were losing it all. How many of those moments, in hindsight, turned out to be the start of something better? The job that fell through? Maybe it led to a career you never imagined, one that fulfilled you in ways you didn't expect. The relationship that ended? Perhaps it made space for a healthier, more aligned partnership, or allowed you to find peace within yourself. The failures you thought you'd never recover from, they were the lessons that taught you resilience, self-worth, and the importance of not giving up. Every single setback is just a setup for something greater. I get it. When you're in the middle of it, it's hard to see the lesson. It's easy to feel like you're drowning, like you'll never get out. But I want you to remember this. Falling apart is part of the journey. It's the shedding of the old. It's the necessary destruction that creates the foundation for new growth. Just like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, it feels like the end when it's actually the beginning of something incredible. You have to trust that the collapse is only temporary, that the new life, the new opportunities, the new version of yourself are waiting just on the other side. So the next time life feels like it's crumbling around you, remember, you're not falling apart, you're falling into place. It's hard to see it in the moment, but everything you're going through is shaping you for something better. You're shedding the old layers, the parts of yourself that no longer serve you, so you can rise as someone new, someone stronger, wiser, and more aligned with who you're meant to be. Trust the process. Embrace the chaos. Know that no matter how messy or painful it feels, it's leading you exactly where you need to go. Life isn't meant to be comfortable all the time. If we never experienced discomfort, if we never faced challenges, we'd never grow. It's in those tough moments, those times when we feel like we can't go on, that the biggest transformations happen. But transformation doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen without some discomfort. It's messy, it's painful, and sometimes it feels like we're losing everything. But in reality, we're not losing, we're gaining. We're shedding the old to make room for the new. The universe isn't tearing us apart, it's reshaping us for something greater. So the next time you feel like everything is falling apart, take a deep breath. Trust that it's leading you somewhere better. The journey isn't always going to be easy. It's not always going to be pretty, but it's always worth it. You're not just surviving the storm, you're using it to fuel your growth, to build the person you're meant to become. The next chapter is just around the corner, and it's going to be better than anything you've ever imagined. Keep going, trust the process, because every time life falls apart, it's making space for something incredible to fall into place. Lesson 4. Strength isn't loud, it's lasting. We all love a good comeback story, right? The one where someone hits rock bottom only to rise again in a blaze of glory, declaring, "I made it." We've seen it in movies, heard it in songs, and maybe even dreamed about it ourselves. There's something captivating about the loud, dramatic moment of triumph, the applause, the cheers, the recognition. It's a moment where you feel like the world is watching you, celebrating your success. But here's the thing, real strength doesn't announce itself. It's not about the big moments of recognition or the dramatic victories. Real strength is in the quiet moments. It's in the small decisions you make when no one is watching, when the world is silent, and when it feels like you have no reason left to keep going. True strength is found in the ability to get up when you don't feel like it, to show up when you're exhausted, and to keep pushing forward even when every part of you is screaming to stop. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Marcus Aurelius taught that strength isn't about flexing muscles or proving something to others. It's about persistence, endurance, and making the right choices, even when they're hard. It's about maintaining control over your emotions and your actions, no matter how difficult life becomes. Real strength isn't loud. It doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops or paraded in front of an audience. It's quiet, steady, and constant. It's found in the ability to keep going when no one is there to cheer you on. That's the kind of strength that lasts. Think about the ocean for a moment. The ocean doesn't shout to be heard. It doesn't announce its power or demand attention. But over time, the ocean shapes the coastlines, carving out new paths and creating landscapes that last for centuries. The ocean doesn't need anyone to recognize its strength because its impact is undeniable. It doesn't need applause. Its quiet, persistent power is felt in the way it shapes the world around it. This is the type of strength that Stoicism teaches us, the kind that doesn't seek validation, that doesn't rely on external recognition, and that doesn't boast. It's the quiet strength that gets up every day and does the work. It's the kind of strength that you don't see in a moment of glory, but rather in the long, slow process of growth. The real test of strength isn't how loud you can shout when you win, but how steady you remain when things aren't going your way. It's about the endurance to keep moving forward, even when the path seems long and uncertain. Think about the hardest times in your life. It wasn't the big moments of success that shaped you the most. It was the times when you kept going, even though you felt like giving up. It was the quiet moments when no one was watching, the days when you didn't feel like getting out of bed, but you did anyway. That's when true strength is built. Strength isn't about waiting for a moment to shine. It's about showing up consistently, no matter the circumstances, no matter the difficulty. It's about the persistence to continue, even when the world isn't giving you anything in return. One of the greatest lessons from Stoicism is the ability to endure with dignity. Life will throw challenges your way, and some of those challenges will seem insurmountable. But in those moments, Stoicism teaches us to look inward, to focus on what we can control, and to persist with quiet strength. It's not about making noise or proving anything to anyone else. It's about staying true to your purpose, even when everything around you is in chaos. It's about holding your ground and moving forward, step by step, knowing that each action, no matter how small, is taking you closer to your goal. When life gets tough, it's easy to want to throw in the towel, to shout, "I can't do this anymore," and walk away from the challenge. But true strength is the ability to endure through those moments, to keep moving forward even when it feels impossible. It's the quiet decisions you make every day when no one is watching that define your character. Real strength is not about being the loudest person in the room. It's about doing the work when no one else is there to see it. It's about being consistent, showing up, and doing what needs to be done, even when it's hard. Strength is built in those quiet moments of persistence, not in the loud moments of celebration. So, when life starts to get overwhelming, when it feels like everything is falling apart, remember that your strength doesn't have to be loud. You don't need to make a big declaration or demand attention. What you need is the quiet determination to keep going. It's the willingness to face each day with the strength to keep pushing forward, even when you don't feel like it. The real test of your strength is how you react when the world isn't watching, when there's no applause and no recognition. It's in those moments that your true power is revealed, and it's in that quiet persistence that you'll find the strength to overcome any challenge. The ocean teaches us that true strength is not measured by the noise we make, but by the impact we have. It's not about being seen or heard. It's about the quiet, persistent force that shapes the world around us, even when no one is paying attention. In the same way, Your strength doesn't need to be loud to be effective. It doesn't need to be flashy or obvious to make a difference. The strength that lasts is the one that keeps going, even when it's not easy. The quiet decisions to keep moving forward, even when it feels like the world is against you, are what define your true power. Next time you're faced with a challenge, remember that strength is built in silence. It's not about showing off or proving something to others. It's about making the decision to keep going when everything inside you wants to quit. It's the quiet persistence that will see you through, the strength to keep pushing forward even when no one is watching, and it's in that steady endurance that your true power will shine. So, embrace the quiet strength that lies within you. Let it carry you through the toughest moments, and trust that the perseverance you build now will be the strength you carry with you for the rest of your life. Keep going, even when no one is watching, because that's when the real strength is forged. Lesson 5. The person you're becoming is worth the pain you're enduring. Right now, you might feel like you're breaking. Everything seems impossible. Every step forward feels like a struggle, and the weight of the world is bearing down on your shoulders. Maybe you've reached a point where you're questioning everything, wondering if it's even worth it to keep going. But here's the truth you need to hear. The person you're becoming is worth it. All the pain, all the setbacks, and every moment where you feel like you can't take any more. That's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one where you emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with who you're truly meant to be. Every challenge you face, every tear you shed, is chiseling away at the old version of you, the version that no longer serves the future you're meant to create. Life has a funny way of shaping us through hardship. Think about the process of making a sculpture. Michelangelo, the famous artist, once said that he could see the angel in the marble before he ever picked up a chisel. To him, the statue was already there, waiting to be freed. The process of carving away at the marble wasn't about destroying it. It was about revealing the masterpiece hidden within. In the same way, life's struggles aren't about breaking you down. They're about revealing the stronger, more refined version of yourself. The person you're becoming is already there, waiting to be uncovered. And I get it. It's hard to see it when you're in the midst of pain. It's difficult to trust that there's anything more than the struggle when it feels like you're losing everything. But that's the point. You're not losing anything that truly matters. What you're shedding, what you're letting go of, are the old versions of yourself, the parts of you that no longer fit with who you're becoming. Every setback, every heartache, every obstacle is making space for something better. Just like the sculptor removes the excess marble to reveal the figure beneath, life is chiseling away at the parts of you that no longer serve your highest purpose. It might hurt, but it's necessary. It's part of the process that allows you to grow into someone capable of handling everything that's coming your way. You're not just surviving pain, you're being reshaped by it. The person who is emerging from this struggle will be someone who understands their true strength, someone who has been through the fire and come out the other side stronger, wiser, and more in tune with their authentic self. This is the beauty of pain. It forces you to face the things that are holding you back. It pushes you to confront your fears, your insecurities, and your doubts. And in doing so, it clears the way for you to become the person you were always meant to be. When life feels like it's falling apart, remember that you're not just losing, you're making room for the person who can handle whatever comes next. That new version of you? They are capable of greatness. They are ready for the challenges ahead because they've been forged in the fire. They've learned to embrace discomfort, to face adversity head-on, and to keep moving forward even when everything feels uncertain. The struggles you're going through right now are not a punishment. They are the very thing that will prepare you for the future you're meant to have. The truth is, Growth doesn't come from staying comfortable. It comes from pushing through the moments when you feel like you can't take another step. It comes from facing the darkness and trusting that, on the other side, you'll find the light. When things get tough, it's easy to question your worth and wonder if it's even worth it to keep going. But the truth is, you are worth every bit of the struggle. The person you are becoming is worth all the pain you're enduring right now. Every challenge you face is shaping you, molding you into someone who can handle what life throws their way. You're being prepared for something greater, something that only the version of you that has been through this struggle can achieve. Think about the hardest things you've been through in your life. The moments that broke you, the failures that shook your confidence, the losses that left you feeling empty. Now take a step back and look at how far you've come. You're still here. You survived the worst, and that alone shows the strength you've built. But more than that, think about how those experiences shaped you. They taught you resilience. They taught you that you can survive things you once thought were impossible. They taught you what matters and what doesn't. They made you more aware of your own strength and more in tune with the person you're meant to be. This is what pain does. It teaches you. It teaches you who you are, what you're capable of, and what truly matters in life. It strips away the things that don't serve you and reveals what's left. And what's left is powerful. What's left is you, stronger, wiser, more resilient than you were before. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that pain is something to be avoided, that it's a sign that something is wrong. But what if we started seeing pain as a gift instead of a curse? What if we viewed it as the tool that shapes us into the people we're meant to be? Every time you feel like you're breaking, remember this: you are not falling apart. You are simply shedding the parts of yourself that are no longer serving your highest purpose. When it feels like you're losing everything, remember that you're just making space for something better. The version of you that is emerging from this struggle is going to be able to handle the challenges ahead with grace and strength. They will not be afraid of pain because they know that pain is not the enemy, it's the teacher. Pain shows you who you are and who you are capable of becoming. Every tear, every setback, every moment of doubt is part of the process. They are the building blocks that will make you stronger and more prepared for what's to come. And when you emerge from this struggle, you will see that all the pain, all the challenges were worth it, because they made you into the person who is capable of achieving everything you've ever dreamed of. So next time you feel like you're losing, remember this: you're not losing anything that truly matters. You're making space for the person you're becoming. The struggles you're facing are just the chisels that are carving out the masterpiece within you. Trust the process. Trust that everything you're going through right now is shaping you into someone capable of handling whatever comes next. You are not just surviving pain, you are being transformed by it, and that transformation will lead you to the life you've always wanted. Keep going. The person you're becoming is worth every single step of this journey. Lesson 6. The bottom teaches what the top never could. We all want to be at the top. The success, the admiration, the praise. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of reaching the peak. It's the dream, right? Everyone wants to stand at the summit, looking down at all they've achieved. But what if I told you that the real lessons in life don't come from the top? They don't come from the praise and the applause. They come from the bottom. Rock bottom is where the true lessons are learned. The truth is, we often don't grow until we've been forced to. At the top, it's easy to become distracted by the comforts of success. But when you're at the bottom, there's nowhere to hide. Everything gets stripped away. The fake personas, the illusions, the things you thought you needed to feel secure. At the bottom, you're forced to face reality in its rawest form. It's hard to see it when you're in the middle of it, But hitting rock bottom is one of the most important things that can happen in your life. When everything falls apart, you're left with nothing but the truth. At the bottom, you have no choice but to react. You have to decide how you're going to face the situation. Are you going to let it defeat you, or are you going to use it as fuel to rise back up stronger? The choice is yours, and that's the beauty of the bottom. It's where you learn who you really are. When everything else is stripped away, you can finally see what's left. It's like cleaning out an old house. You have to remove the clutter, the things you don't need, to reveal the foundation that's been there all along. And once that foundation is exposed, you can start to build something new, something real. Rock bottom doesn't have to be the end. It's easy to feel like it's over when you hit that point. But the truth is, it's just the beginning of something more authentic, something more solid. When you hit rock bottom, you're given the opportunity to start over. You're given a chance to rebuild from the ground up. It's in these moments of struggle, of feeling completely lost, that you discover what really matters. You can't see it when you're standing on top, surrounded by all the things you've accumulated. But at the bottom, there's nothing left to distract you. All that's left is the truth about yourself, your life, and what you want moving forward. And once you've faced that truth, once you've embraced the lessons that come from the bottom, you'll be ready to rise again, stronger and more grounded than ever before. The bottom is not just a place of failure, it's a place of growth. It's where you find out what you're really made of. When you're at the top, it's easy to get comfortable, to believe that the world is at your feet, that you've got it all figured out. But comfort doesn't challenge you. It doesn't make you stronger. It's only in the struggle, in the hardship, that we really learn. Think about it. Have you ever learned more from success or from failure? The times you've truly grown, the moments that shaped you into who you are today, probably didn't come from your achievements. They came from your mistakes, your losses, your failures. It's when you hit rock bottom that you're forced to change, to adapt, to face the truth and move forward. And it's that growth, that transformation, that makes all the difference. You might not be able to see it now, but your bottom is laying the foundation for something greater. The lessons you're learning now, the strength you're building, are preparing you for the next phase of your life. When you rise from this, you'll do so with a deeper understanding of yourself and your place in the world. And that strength, it will carry you through whatever comes next. Because once you've hit rock bottom and survived, you know you're capable of anything. You've faced the worst, and you've come out the other side, stronger and more resilient than ever. So, don't be afraid of the bottom. Don't see it as a defeat. See it as a turning point, a place of renewal, a chance to build something real from the ground up. When everything falls apart, it's easy to want to give up. It's tempting to think that you've lost everything, that you'll never get back what you had. But here's the thing, you're not losing anything that truly matters. The things that are falling away, those are the things that were never meant to stay. The bottom is a place of clearing, a place where you can shed what's no longer serving you, so that you can make room for what's to come. This is your chance to start over, to rebuild with intention, to create a life that's more aligned with who you are and who you want to be. The foundation you're building now will hold you steady when you rise again. And when you rise, you'll be stronger, more grounded, and more capable than ever before. In those moments when you feel like you've lost everything, remember this: you haven't lost what truly matters. You're simply clearing the space for something better to enter your life. The bottom is a necessary part of the journey. It's where you find out who you really are. It's where you shed the old, the unnecessary, and make way for the new. And when you rise from it, you'll do so with a deeper sense of purpose, a clearer sense of self, and a newfound strength that will carry you through whatever comes next. The bottom isn't the end. It's the beginning of something new, something solid, something real. So when you find yourself at rock bottom, don't despair. Don't see it as a failure. See it as an opportunity to build a stronger foundation. The lessons you're learning now, the strength you're gaining, are preparing you for the life you're meant to live. Trust the process. Trust that the bottom is where the real growth happens. And know that when you rise, you'll do so with a strength that nothing can shake. It's at the bottom where you find the truth about yourself. And from that truth, you can rise higher than you ever thought possible. Lesson 7. Yesterday's version couldn't handle today's blessings. Have you ever wondered why certain dreams didn't come true when you thought they would? Maybe it felt like the timing was perfect, and yet things just didn't line up. You might have worked hard, planned meticulously, and still found yourself waiting. It's frustrating, right? You're ready, you've put in the effort, and yet it seems like the universe is dragging its feet. But here's a thought. Maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe, just maybe, the version of yourself that you were yesterday wasn't yet prepared for the blessings that were about to come your way. Life has a strange way of preparing us for what's to come, even when we don't understand why things seem delayed. We look at our current selves and feel like we're ready for the things we've been dreaming about. But often the truth is that we're not quite there yet. Yesterday's version of you wasn't equipped to handle what's coming, not because you aren't capable, but because life needs you to grow into the person who can truly appreciate, handle, and sustain the blessings that are coming your way. It's as if life is in the background, quietly shaping you, making sure you have the strength, the wisdom, and the resilience to handle what you're about to receive. Think about a tree. A tree doesn't bear fruit the moment it's planted. At first, it's just a tiny seed or sapling, fragile and vulnerable. It doesn't immediately start producing fruit because it needs time to grow, to develop strong roots, to weather the storms and absorb the nutrients it needs. The same applies to us. We don't just wake up one day and immediately get everything we want. There's a process. There's growth. The challenges you're facing right now, as tough as they may seem, are shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you to handle the opportunities and blessings that are right around the corner. Imagine if a tree tried to rush its growth. What if it wanted to bear fruit too soon? It wouldn't have the strength to support its branches or sustain its growth. It would collapse under its own weight. It's the same with us. Every challenge you face today, every setback, every moment of uncertainty is giving you the experience, the resilience, and the wisdom needed to handle what's coming next. Without these challenges, without these moments of struggle, you wouldn't have the capacity to appreciate the blessings that are on the horizon. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In other words, life doesn't always hand you what you expect, but how you respond to the delays and obstacles is what will determine your growth. If you can learn to trust the process, to embrace the challenges as opportunities for growth, you'll find that every delay is just part of the journey. The truth is, the version of you that's sitting here today isn't the same as the person you were yesterday. You've learned new lessons, you've grown stronger, and you've gained the wisdom necessary to handle what's coming next. And when those blessings finally do arrive, you'll be ready for them, not just in the sense of being able to handle them, but in the sense of truly appreciating them for what they are. Sometimes we're so eager to achieve our goals that we forget to appreciate the growth process. We're always looking ahead, always chasing the next milestone, the next big thing. But what if the key isn't to rush towards success, but to focus on becoming the person who is worthy of it? What if life isn't just about achieving your goals, it's about becoming the right person to achieve them? That's what the delay is about. That's what the struggle is teaching you. You might be looking at where you are right now and thinking that you're far behind, that you've wasted time, or that you should have achieved more by now. But the truth is, everything you've been through, every challenge, every lesson, every failure has been shaping you, strengthening you, and making you ready for what's next. You're not behind, you're exactly where you need to be, and the version of you that will be able to handle the blessings that are coming will be shaped by what you're going through right now. There's no need to rush the process. Life unfolds in its own time, and sometimes the delay isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong, it's a sign that you're being prepared. Think of the tree again. It doesn't rush its growth, but it becomes strong and resilient because it takes its time. So, don't rush through the challenges you're facing today. Trust that each moment is part of your growth. Every setback is setting you up for something greater. Every difficulty you face is building the capacity within you to appreciate the blessings when they arrive. When you're in the thick of it, when everything feels like it's taking too long, remember this. You are becoming the person who can handle the success that's coming your way. You're not just waiting for the next chapter of your life, you're preparing for it. And when you're finally ready, the things you've dreamed about will come to you, but they'll feel even sweeter because you'll know that you've earned them. You'll have the wisdom, the resilience, and the strength to appreciate them fully. What if, instead of worrying about when your dreams will come true, you focused on becoming the person who can handle them? The version of you that's waiting to emerge is stronger, wiser, and more capable than you can imagine. So, instead of rushing, take a moment to embrace where you are right now. Trust that every experience, every challenge, and every lesson is making you ready for the blessings that are right around the corner. And when those blessings do come, they'll be the fruits of your labor, the result of all the hard work, patience, and growth you've put in. You'll be able to handle them with grace, with gratitude, and with the understanding that you've earned everything that's coming your way. Life has a funny way of preparing us, even when we don't understand it at the time. But when you look back, you'll realize that the struggles you're going through today are exactly what you needed to become the person who can handle everything that's coming tomorrow. So don't rush it. Trust the process. Know that every setback is setting you up for something greater. Yesterday's struggles are making you ready for today's blessings, and when you finally reach that point of success, you'll realize that everything you've gone through was worth it. Because the person you're becoming is worth every challenge, every moment of doubt, and every delay. It's all leading to something greater. And when you finally step into it, you'll understand exactly why everything took the time it did. So keep going, keep trusting. You're not just waiting for your dreams to come true. You're becoming the person who is worthy of them. Remember, the person you're becoming is worth every challenge you're facing today. Every setback, every moment of struggle is shaping you into someone capable of handling the blessings that are coming your way. Trust the process and embrace the growth. Life is preparing you for something greater than you can imagine, so keep going, because the best is still ahead of you. If this resonated with you, be sure to check out one of the videos on the screen. There's always more to learn and discover together. Thank you for being a part of Stoic Journal. Keep growing, and remember, the journey is just as important as the destination.